Hi, this is going to be a walkthrough video for Lab 0301 as part of CIS3060 Managing and Visualizing Business Data. Now, there's a lot that's in this particular lab, and we may not get through all the little details of it. However, what I wanted to do is give you a quick overview of what is going on through this particular lab and step you through it. Now, some of the pieces of information that I may refer to are also found in this lab, so feel free to be able to use this video and also the lab document that is found in As You Learn as you work through this particular lab. But to get started, we're going to go to UDesk. So to get to UDesk, I'm using an incognito window. We type in the address udesk.appstate.edu. When we get to UDesk, we're going to go ahead and select Log In to UDesk. And one of the things that is available to most students is going to be this computer lab option. Now, I happen to have a faculty staff computer, and you're not going to use this. You're going to use the computer lab computer. Now, you also may have other computers that are available to you, but the ones that we're using for this class are simply the computer lab. So go ahead and select on the computer lab, and then go ahead and log in with all of your AppState credentials where necessary. Now, given the fact that a login may take a little bit of while, I went ahead and logged into my own instance of UDesk separately. So this is UDesk, the UDesk computer lab. And I'm going to maximize my screen here. So in the upper right-hand corner, I'm going to go ahead and maximize my screen, and I'm going to unpin the little toolbar at the top. So here we go. We're going to maximize, and then we're going to unpin the navigation bar. All right, so everything gets resized that way. Now in this particular lab, we're going to be working with SQL Server Management Studio. To get to SQL Server Management Studio, the easy way is at the bottom of the screen, down here, go ahead and type into the search bar SSMS. And that should bring you to SQL Server Management Studio 18. Now, if you can't find SQL Server Management Studio 18, it is also available in the Start menu under Microsoft SQL Server Tools. All right. Now, in SQL Server Management Studio, when you log in, you're going to be asked to connect to a server. Now, I've already included this little script right here, which may be a little bit difficult to read for you at the moment. So for your reference, I do have this included inside of the lab assignment, and that script is actually right here. So it's cis-analytics.its.appstate.edu and CIS number, and that particular number right here is your number. So I've been assigned SQL Server Instance 00. However, you should have received an email from me about your assignment for SQL Server Management Studio. You're going to use a 2-digit value here from 01 to 50 based on what you've been assigned. So if you've been assigned server number 8, you will type in 08. All right, so here we go. We're going back here. Mine is 00, and I'm going to go ahead and connect. Now, one thing I want to make sure of before I connect is that we have the database engine and Windows authentication identified. It should be the default, but I wanted to make sure that you understood that. Okay. On the left-hand side of our screen over here, we have an Object Explorer. The object that we're going to be most concerned about is going to be the databases. Now we can expand each of these items by simply clicking on the little plus sign that is beside them. And when you expand out the databases, you probably see nothing at this point in the semester. Later, you'll see additional databases that you'll create over time. What we want to do is, at least for this exercise, is attach to a database that's already been put into your folders. In order to do that, we're going to right-click on Databases, and we're going to simply go to Attach. When the Attach Database dialog opens up, go ahead and select on the Add button here. And when this opens up, we're going to see a variety of different types of folders that we can connect to. Now, I don't know what you're going to open up to, but I will say this, that the very top of the folder directory, you should see about 4, maybe 5 different folders. The one that we're going to be concerned about is in the D drive. So I'm going to expand the D drive, and at the very bottom or very close to the bottom, we'll see a folder called Student Shares. This is the folder that we're going to be most concerned about this semester. So if you expand out this folder, you should be able to see all of our servers that are assigned for this class. If you were assigned 08, you're going to click on 08. I am assigned 00, so I'll click on 00. If you happen to click on a folder and don't see anything, it could mean one of two things. It could mean that you don't have access to the folder, which is most likely the case, or there's nothing in there. Well, for now, I know that I've added, at least to the majority of our folders, a folder called Blue Ridge University. So you should at least see that by now. So if I click on my folder, you can see I have Blue Ridge University in my account. By the way, there's all these other folders that you can ignore for now, but you're going to be working through this course, creating a folder directory of your own. So assuming that you have Blue Ridge University, go ahead and click on Blue Ridge University, and you should see this MDF file. Go ahead and select the MDF file and select on OK. And when you select on OK here at the bottom, I'm going to expand this out a little bit more, you should be able to see the current path of our database, which should show the student shares and your server location, as well as the name of the particular database. Also, you'll take note that the first file is an MDF file, which is the one we selected on, but the second one is actually a log file that we didn't see, but it's located in the same folder. We're going to need to be able to identify the locations for both the data and the log file in the future when we create our own databases. But for now, this is automatic since we're only attaching a database. So when you're done, go ahead and select OK. And in the upper left-hand side of our screen, we should be able to see Blue Ridge University. Go ahead and expand out Blue Ridge University, and you'll notice a whole series of tables. Excuse me, not tables, but folders. Of these folders, you'll see a database diagram and, of course, a tables folder. If you expand out the database diagram, you're going to see a diagram of the Blue Ridge University database, which we have to create, and we'll show you how to create that later on in the semester, but for now, one has been provided for you. Also, if you expand out the tables, you will see a list of all the tables that are particularly in this database. Let's not get ahead of ourselves too much. Let's go ahead and double-click on the Blue Ridge University diagram. In this diagram, this gives us a pictorial representation of our database. Our database has 5 different tables. The center table is a fact table called Student Grades. It records basically the grades that students earn over the semester. On the outside of the database diagram, we can see 4 dimensions. We can see a period dimension, such as the fall of 2020, the fall of 2021, fall of 2022, etc. Also, we can see a dimension for the course section, which would include the course name, and of course, the course section, the credit hours, etc. The professor teaching the course, and the student who takes the course. All right. Now, if you also look in each of these dimension tables, there is a primary key identified in all of these dimension tables. And if you look even closer, you can see that there is a foreign key in the fact table that connects the dimension table to the fact table. So here you can see the student connects here, the section connects here, and I have to jump a line, period goes right here. All right. So we can see in this center section here, these 4 items are actually foreign keys that are connected to primary keys of the dimension tables. If you're familiar with databases, this should be pretty straightforward with you. If you're not familiar with databases, we'll cover this more in the days to come. So what I'd like to do right now is at least close this out, and we'll get started on doing some SQL queries against this database. And we'll do that in the next video.